Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I'm here. It's Friday. Welcome to tonight's stream. We're gonna be finishing Breath of the Wild and then, probably play Final Fantasy XIV. I think that'd be fun. I was, thinking about it, and I was like, that would be fun to do. That's the current plan. I'm echoing? Why am I echoing? What the hell? I'm not? Where am I? Fair enough. I updated it before the stream. I remembered, I was like, I need to fucking update this shit. Because otherwise, the stream's gonna be a bit poop for a while. But yeah, we're gonna be doing that. I was considering, doing more Fire Emblem, but I kind of think next Fire Emblem Awakening stream, we're gonna get to, what is probably, my favorite part of that game, so I'd rather dedicate a whole stream to that. I think the next part of Fire Emblem Awakening, we will definitely get to what I think is the most impactful scene in Awakening. So I was like, fuck it. Need to catch up on Fire Emblem, you were asleep. I haven't gotten crazy far yet. Walk up to a bokoblin and Link says, P.U., that really is the Breath of the Wild. This is gonna be a different kind of segment also. This Breath of the Wild segment, so I actually beat this off stream. I said this in the Discord. I beat Calamity Ganon off stream, but I had the hindsight to record it. So we do have a finale lined up, but it will technically be me talking over footage that already exists. But I think that's fine. I did something similar with, what was it? It was the Cuphead DLC? Fighting Ganon with chat, true. Or without chat, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not playing Balan on the Wii, sorry. Although I actually want to ask you guys, so I have cut together my successful attempts of Ganon, but I also do have a couple, it's not too many. Hand over my cheese puffs? I don't have any cheese puffs. Uh-oh. Pre-recorded stream. I have failed attempts, as well as the winning attempts. Alright, I'll get some, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will leave that up to you guys. Do you guys want to see the failed attempts as well as the winning attempts, or do you just want to see the cut-together winning attempts? It's not that much longer. I think the winning attempt thing is, 40 minutes, and it would maybe be, 20 minutes longer if I showed the failings. I leave the choice up to you guys. Only stay winning. We just don't stop winning. But yeah, it's not... I didn't lose a crazy amount off stream. I lost a lot on stream. I didn't lose a lot off stream. I really only have, one failed attempt at his main phase, and then one failed attempt at the horse phase. Or maybe I have a couple more horse phases. The horse phase was kind of fucked up, but maybe I shouldn't spoil it. Maybe I shouldn't spoil it. And, once we get to the end credits, I'll talk about my thoughts as if I did just beat it. I don't need to spoil my Breath of the Wild thoughts. Everyone should have a horse phase? True. True, though. Alright. What the fuck? I got scared by my phone. Still in your goat phase? Alright. Let me pull it up. It might be loud for a second, so everybody be prepared for Breath of the Wild to be really loud. Okay, yeah, this is 41 minutes of footage. Just remember, there's an entire subculture of people who play Red Dead Redemption 2 together, but specifically just as a horse game. Mm-hmm. Well, what else are you supposed to do? Like, everybody, like, basically, like, the majority of the population that plays video games has played, like, GTA Online. Who the fuck is playing Red Dead Online? Like, I do not hear of people, like, doing that ever. Like, GTA Online, I met plenty of people who were playing GTA Online, and probably still do. But, like, I don't hear that same thing for Red Dead Online. Oh, this is actually quieter than I thought it'd be. It's also small. I have to make it big. Let me get it behind chat. Lower it a little bit. Yeah, fucking... Windblight Ganon was, like, the baby phase. Fuck, dude. I almost beat Windblight Ganon with, like, no good tools, too. But it was just taking too long, and everybody was like, oh, you should go around the castle and, like, get, like, actual tools. You refuse to believe people actually play Red Dead 2 offline, let alone online. It definitely, like... And this is kind of a problem with a decent amount of modern games. It doesn't seem like a very replayable kind of game. That's kind of... That would be kind of my problem with some modern games, is like, I'm kind of old school in my taste a little bit. So I like when games are, like, a little replayable, you know? Like, I'm a big Sonic fan. I like when Sonic games are, like, very replayable. Like, I could play Sonic Adventure at, like, any time and have, like, a fun time of it, because it's like every playthrough you do, you learn some more. You learn more about the game, you get better, you get faster. It's a nice quality to have, but some games... And this is not necessarily, like, a bad thing, but a lot of games that come out now, they don't really have that replay value. They're kind of, like, one and done. And again, that's not, like, necessarily, like, oh, that makes it a bad game. It's just... It's a different style of game than I'm used to. There's a fella you follow on Twitch who plays Red Dead Redemption 2 to improvise songs over it, commenting on what's happening. That's awesome. Yeah, Windblight Ganon was kind of baby time. I kind of wish, in hindsight, I didn't waste, like, the really good bow, like, mostly on Windblight Ganon. I really wish I would have kept the good bow for actual Calamity Ganon. Waterblight is a little fucked up. This phase is, like... It's not the hardest of, like, the Ganons, but it's not that easy either. It's a little fucked up. I remember when I played this game on my own, Waterblight Ganon was the only one I was able to, like, you know, do. Yeah, I ate the dubious food. I ate the dubious food. But I remember, like, it came down to the wire when I beat Waterblight Ganon on my own. And you had a, like, much worse arena, to be honest. Someone in chat mentioned it, and I think they're probably right about it, is that the Ganon phases that you have to do, like, if you didn't beat them in the Divine Beast, they're probably, like, literally just easier here. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I remember Waterblight Ganon's arena being, like, a small square in the middle of water. Oh, this phase is a little fucked up. That was you? Gotcha. Well, you were right. You were definitely right. Because I remember Waterblight Ganon being fucked up. I have, like, a Switch clip of me, like, beating Waterblight Ganon, and, like, I had to, like, just throw my weapon, like, the literal last weapon I had, and, like, thank God that was enough to kill. But yeah, that is not this. I feel like, looking at this footage again, it seems like I did pretty good on this phase. I mean, so far, unless I wasn't paying enough attention, I think I only got hit once thus far. Honestly, with, like, the Divine Beast Ganons, like, once the muscle memory kicked in, it was kind of hard to turn it off, which is good. I was able to get them decently consistent. I mean, like, basically every attempt I was doing of these Ganon fights, I feel like I got to Calamity Ganon every time, and then it was him who fucked me up. Like, once I got to Calamity Ganon the first time, I think, like, there was maybe only one other attempt where I didn't get to him. Get this fucker out of here. Fire Blight was really easy. This one's kind of like baby time. He's just, like, too slow. Like, look at how slow his animations are. He didn't even get to start attacking before I shot him with 2 arrows. What is bro doing? But yeah, I don't know. Would I say Wind Blight or Fire Blight is easier? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I would say... Because I have to keep in mind with Wind Blight, part of what made it easy was I did have, like, the stronger bow for it. Like, I never thought to myself, oh, I should save my stronger bow for a later fight. I just kept using it on Wind Blight, which makes him go way faster. But Fire Blight is pretty baby time, too. I feel like once I understood Fire Blight... The only thing with Fire Blight that maybe puts it over Wind Blight is that Fire Blight definitely does more damage. Like, I could take a couple hits without healing during Wind Blight. If I get hit once by Fire Blight, like, I need to heal right away. So there's definitely, like, a little more stakes to it. And honestly, that attack where he throws the many different fireballs, that was a little hard to learn. I know, like, the first few attempts I did a Fire Blight, like, he pelted me with those. And that hurt. That shit hurted. But yeah, nothing I couldn't handle. And we have Thunder Blight. This guy sucks. This guy is the worst one to deal with. He's so fucked up, dude. I'm surprised I learned how to dodge him as well as I did, because he really is, like, insane. Thunder Blight is so annoying to fight. He really is. He needs to get a job, honestly. He needs to leave me alone. Honestly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if I used more heals during Thunder Blight than I did during Calamity Ganon. I probably used more heals during Calamity Ganon just because it's longer, but honestly, if I saw myself use, like, 15 heals in this fight, I wouldn't be surprised. This shit is fucked. Especially his second phase. Like, first phase, once I learned the trick, was, like, baby time. Glad I recorded this, because you haven't seen the fight with all the Blight phases. You don't think it happens if I completed all those 9 beasts. Yeah, from what chat was telling me, these fights do not happen if you just do the Divine Beasts. So, if I did all the Divine Beasts, I would have just beaten Calamity Ganon. Yeah, this phase is fucked up. I got, like, and, like, maybe if other people watch the first VOD, you will see this. I got, like, mad at a guy in chat who was, like, backseating during this phase. Because, like, all he would say is, like, do the dodge. Do the dodge. And I was like, what button is the dodge? And it was like, bro would not tell me. He would do anything except tell me what button was the dodge. Think you could guess who it was? Oh, it was a guy who got banned. And I'm not gonna, like, start a witch hunt on this guy. Yeah, I was streaming, not this specific attempt, obviously, again, this was pre-recorded, but I went pretty late, into this. Each time you finish a divine beast, it removes that beast's blight and 1/8 of Ganon's health. Damn. Just kept going, jump backwards. Yeah, no, I did not understand, and it was so late at night that I was just getting, like, really frustrated. And I don't like doing that on stream, because I think it makes for bad entertainment. I do not think I'm the kind of person who's funny when I'm frustrated at games. I did a couple of attempts, but it was really late into the night. It was, like, at 3 in the morning. It was crazy late. But yeah, when that guy was telling me all that stuff, like, after a while, I like, went on, like, a little rant, like, you gotta stop with the backseating, man. Like, you're not, like, I do not understand what you're saying. You're giving me advice that doesn't make any sense. This is why I don't like backseating, that kind of thing. And then I just remember the last thing he said, and this was, like, this is the last thing he said before I just banned him. It was like, what was it? It was like, you hate me? You are racist against Italians. Which is maybe the funniest possible thing you could say to me when, like, half of my jokes on this stream relate to me being Italian. Skill issue? Honestly, it would have been better if he said skill issue, because at least that would have been true. At least that would have been true. Because it kind of was a skill issue. But yeah, he was like, you hate Italians? You are a racist. And it was like, what are you talking about? I'm literally Italian. That's like half of my bit on this stream is that I'm an Italian New Yorker. Every other stream I say forget about. Like, that is true also. Italian isn't a race. Yeah, the internalization. Again, it was extremely late at night. I was streaming Breath of the Wild until, like, literally, like 5 in the morning. So, like, I would imagine you were probably asleep by then. Because it was crazy late. That's true. I could be xenophobic, although something tells me this guy didn't live in Italy. Although maybe he did, and if he did live in Italy and I was being xenophobic against him, I'm so fucking sorry, everybody. I haven't even been talking about Calamity Ganon. I mean, honestly, the thing with Calamity Ganon, like, the attacks, like, once I learned them, were not terrible to dodge. It was just that I had to dodge a lot of them. Like, this fight goes on for a very, very long time. And I mean, people in chat were saying, like, oh yeah, you remove his health if you do the Divine Beast beforehand, so, I didn't do that shit. I don't think that was meant to be pinned. But yeah, this is, like, genuinely, learning these phases was super fun to do. I gotta say, like, genuinely, learning the Calamity Ganon fight was a lot of fun. Meant to be easier if you progress plot. Nintendo being like, will you please play our story? Will you please? Do you promise? And then I was like, no. Also, sorry, we're getting some frame drops right now. I hope it's not too bad on Twitch's end. It is very cool, like, genuinely, honest to God, I had a lot of fun learning this fight and doing attempts at it. And you can tell I did because, again, I was making attempts, like, off stream. Really, the only time other time I did something similar was when I was attempting Chef Saltbaker with the Cuphead DLC. Like, for me, a game has to, like, a game can be hard, but it has to be, like, really good to make me want to do, like, a really hard part of it. Like, it has to, and, like, that hard thing has to be, like, really fun to learn. Which I think Seth Saltbaker was. I think the Calamity Ganon fight is. Although, again, yeah, he's supposed to be a massive pushover if you went through the game. I have heard people complain that the boss fights in this game are kind of easy. So maybe doing it like this was, like, the best possible experience for me. Because I really did have a good time learning it. On a related note also, I started Tears of the Kingdom. I would say don't expect me to do something similar with Tears of the Kingdom right away. One, because I'd kind of like to take the game at my own pace until I get bored of it. And also just because I know people don't necessarily want to be spoiled for Endgame already. You know, the game is very recent. It came out like a week ago. I would imagine that people are probably not looking to see Endgame yet. You like the exploring more than the fighting? I think that's fair. I'm not a huge explorer. But I do, Tears of the Kingdom, I'm liking it so far because, like, you have, like, the weird fusing and stuff. And you can do some goofy-ass shit. Like, some absolute Gmod shit, which I like. I enjoy that. I haven't gotten to do anything crazy yet. Like, I've seen a lot of people putting the Koroks on the cross like they're Jesus Christ. And you know what? I don't know what they did, but I think it's very noble for them to die for our sins. Truly. We're gonna keep removing words from don't spoil the end game. But yeah, I think I'm still in, like, the tutorial area of Tears of the Kingdom. I'm not very far. I'll probably talk about it a little bit on stream, but I'll be careful about spoilers. I won't randomly tell, like you won't be watching me stream like Kid Icarus and I'll be like, dude, I got to this crazy part in Tears of the Kingdom where Ganondorf shoots a laser gun at you and it does a big explosion everywhere. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like how you've seen zero story spoilers, it's all just been soft traps. Yeah, I'm trying to be careful about Tears of the Kingdom spoilers. And I mean, if you have not started the game, this might be a spoiler to you vaguely. So cover your ears for the next 10 seconds. I really like Purah's redesign in Tears of the Kingdom. I like that it's more reminiscent of her Age of Calamity design instead of being a weird baby. Alright, you can uncover your ears if you were covering them for, like, barely a spoiler, but I want to be careful anyways. From what I was told, that was one of the first things you see once you get out of the tutorial area. How will they know to uncover their ears? Speaking of, why does Ganon have a laser gun? And more importantly, why don't we? I bet, like, someone could figure out how to make a laser gun in Tears of the Kingdom. Like, genuinely, the amount of creative and fucked up stuff I've seen in Tears of the Kingdom, like, someone's gonna invent a laser gun in that game. It's gonna happen. We just have to wait for it. What is the tutorial area? It's like it's like one of those areas that's in the sky. Like, they have a bunch of the... This is not a spoiler because it's, like, in all the ads. It's, like, one of those sky areas that you see in, like, the ads. It's Skyward Sword? A little bit. I should stream more Zelda. I do own Skyward Sword HD. I've never played it. I don't know if that would be the one people would want to see me stream first. But, like, honestly, like, getting to stream Breath of the Wild and getting to experience, like, like, actual Zelda game was, like, it was really cool. Although, granted, this Breath of the Wild is definitely more of a fuck around and do whatever you want kind of game, but that's alright. That's alright. But I would be down to stream more Zelda at some point. Will I play any more of Breath of the Wild? Hard maybe. Hard maybe. Maybe sometime in the future if I feel like giving myself the real experience. Instead of, you know, just beating Calamity Ganon. The thing with it that mainly prevents me is that Breath of the Wild is an extremely long game. And even extremely long games that I like tend to get a little tiring when I stream them. Like, any game that I play on stream and I end up streaming it for like more than a month, like, even if it's like a really good game, I end up getting like a little sick of it. Because it's just, it's like a lot of time for me to dedicate to one game on a stream. But I wouldn't say it's impossible. I will never rule it out. But I would say it's unlikely. Unless I kind of, like, get a different mindset about playing longer games on stream. Tears of the Kingdom will happen. I mean, it'll be similar, like, really fast through the game, trying to see if we could beat Ganon without good tools, really. Although I'm not the guy who beat it, like, day one in, like, 50 minutes. I wish I was that good at video games. But yeah, get the fuck out of here, Ganon. Yeah, he screamed a little bit. I was very relieved also that after this phase, you get a checkpoint. Because, like, what I was being told in chat was, like, yeah, there's no checkpoints for the entire fight. Which, I mean, like, I took as, oh, yeah, there's no checkpoints at all. I have to do every single phase, like, one shot. But I think maybe because that last phase is probably easier for most people didn't even realize this had a checkpoint. There is one death in this little edit I've put together, and it's at the horse phase. I died a couple times at the horse phase, and I remember it because, like, after I did it, I stopped recording because I thought, like, fuck, I'm gonna have to do, like, all those phases again. That was the best attempt I got, and now I have to figure out how to control a horse, because I never got far enough in Breath of the Wild to get a horse. If you never touched a horse, where does this guy come from? He was just chilling. I'd like to think, because we killed, like, a bokoblin that was, like, riding on a horse on the stream, I would like to imagine that this is that horse. You love Zelda's fake British.
You may not yet be at a point where you have fully recovered your power, or all of your memories. But courage need not be remembered, for it is never forgotten.
That line kind of goes hard. That line kind of goes hard, to be fair. I really like that line, like, courage is never lost, or courage is, you saw the line, you saw the fucking line. But I really like that line. It was like a very strong line. A horse bit you on the back once when you were 5? That would be scary to me. See, when I was a kid, I never, like, was near any horses or anything, and I think part of that comes down to the fact that I was raised in the suburbs of New York. So, like, I don't imagine there's a lot of horses around. didn't see the line, what'd she say? Courage is never forgotten, something like that. You may not have your memories, but you still have your courage because courage is never forgotten. It was something like that. You grew up on a bog. Mm-hmm. Is that dialogue different, by the way, if you, like, get the memories and stuff? Because I know that's one of the collectibles in the game, is that you, like, collect little memories. Yeah, here's me dying, because I didn't know how to get the horse to start moving properly again. I still think I don't, to be fair. I think, like, on my real attempt, I just didn't bump into anything, so it didn't matter. Worked with Shetland ponies before, temperamental little guys. Used to really like horses, but then you found out you were allergic when you were in a big stable with a bunch of them. That is very sad. That is extremely sad. But yeah, I could kind of see why, like, people in chat, when I was like, oh, what's the, like, last phase, and people were saying, like, it's basically just a cutscene. Because it kind of is, like, very, like, once you know how to control a horse, it's, like, fine. You can actually slowly trot away from the beams. It's just that slow? Really? I fucked up. I fucked up. There were a few failed attempts of the horse phase. I put the first one in. I think there was a second failed attempt that I did not put in. And I think this is either the third or the fourth. I would have to check, though. But yeah, I didn't know how to do this shit at all. And, like, since all of his attacks, like, O-code me, you know what I think one of my failed attempts was? And maybe that's the one that's not in this compilation. I got to the part where you're supposed to, like, well, you'll see it in a bit. You'll see what I mean in a bit. But just give it a second. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm just circling around this tree. Okay, yeah. When you get to this part, I remember, like, not... Oh, wait, no. That's the next part. Whatever, it's fine. All of you have played Breath of the Wild. It was, like, one of the most popular video games of 2017. Okay, when you get to the last part where you have to ride the wind to get to his weak point, I did it too early. And I ran out of stamina with the paraglider, and I just, like, fucking died. I just fucking toppled over and died. Like, yeah, I failed to do it there, but I didn't die. You know what it was also? I think on the failed attempt, what happened was when I fucking toppled over, like, Link was doing the thing where he'd keep rolling and taking more damage. But there you go. Dark Ganon defeated. Or Dark Beast Ganon. Sorry, I forgot his middle name. I'm so fucking sorry. And Zelda descends from the heavens. You have no idea what makes the eye open. You usually spend a few minutes just trotting around. I have no idea either. I guess it's... I don't know. But yeah, rest in peace to this guy. Zelda, do the blast. Kill him. Is, like, the Triforce relevant in Breath of the Wild at all? Because I see her, like, pull out the Triforce in this cutscene. Does the Triforce appear at, like, literally any other point in the game? Like, does someone, like, go to Link and say, oh, you have the Triforce of Courage on you? Zelda Ex Machina. Be honest, you don't remember? Fair enough.
Over you all this time. I've witnessed your struggles to return to us, as well as your
Who needs
trials and
Triforce when you have Magic iPad? True. True shit.
I always thought, no, I always believed.
I know for sure that this cutscene is different.
I never lost faith in you over these many years. Thank you, Link. The hero of Hyrule.
The hero of Hyrule.
May I ask, do you really remember me?
The Phantom Hourglass armor during this? Only seen in that cutscene, and it's only talked about in reference to Zelda being unable to access her part of it. I know this cutscene is different if you do all the Divine Beasts and stuff. Like, how many different endings did they make for this game? Because I know that there is an ending cutscene where you have, like, all the champions and such, and you have a good time with each other. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom now? No. Not yet. Not yet. I will do a speed stream of Tears of the Kingdom at some point, but I'm gonna give people a chance to play it on their own first. Because, like, I would guarantee, like, if I went through, like, 8 hours of, like, doing Tears of the Kingdom and, like, finishing it as fast as I could, not necessarily as fast as humanly possible, because I'm not that good, I would probably beat the game before, like, 95% of all people who bought this video game. I would only be beaten out by the speedrunners and the unemployed people who have been playing this all week and have gotten very little sleep. And you know what? If that's you, I respect it. You have to promise me when you beat this game, you'll take, like, a sleep aid and get, like, a good, like, 14 hours of sleep. Could be wrong, but you want to say it's just no memories or all memories? Gotcha. That would make sense. That would make sense. Although it seems a little weird, like, if you did meet the champions, even if you did, like, you still wouldn't get, like, the true ending. Oh well. Oh well. But yeah. That was Breath of the Wild. And you know what? You know what? I think I get it now. I mean, I got it when I pre-recorded this, like, a week ago, but I get it now. This game's really good. Like, honestly, like, the level of freedom that this game gives you to do whatever the fuck you want is, like, really, like, admirable. Especially, like, the cost of freedom is that oftentimes if you make a game that's, like, very free in its progression, like, you kind of have to balance around the fact that, like, you could be at anywhere at any time, and, like, it's very easy to make that not fun. So the fact that Breath of the Wild, like, resonated with so many people, despite the fact that level design was never gonna be its strong suit. Like, it speaks to the world design. It speaks to the quality of the gameplay. Maybe speaks to quality of the writing. Again, I didn't see a lot of the writing of this game. I know that you get to meet the other champions and stuff. But I mean, it was fun just to, like, play it my own way. Just going through as fast as possible, doing whatever the fuck. Also, good night, Drago Slayer. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night. Remember when Breath of the Wild came out and everyone was like, this will revolutionize open world? I still think it will. Breath of the Wild is one of those games where, like, it's gonna be hard to replicate that same magic. You know what I mean? I mean, fuck, it took them, like, 6 years to make a sequel to the game using, like, the same engine and a lot of the same assets. And from what I can tell from the marketing, like, basically the same world. And, like, still, they managed to come out with another banger, from what I can tell. But I think it's one of those things where, like, Breath of the Wild-inspired games, if they want to be good, are also probably going to take a very, very long time to come out. Although, maybe not as long as Tears of the Kingdom. Because, like, thinking about Tears of the Kingdom, probably part of the reason that it took so long to take is because Breath of the Wild is already a very straining game for the Switch. So making, like, a bigger version of that, like, you're pushing that shit to its limits. And I mean, if anybody's gonna do that, it's gonna be Nintendo. But I would imagine, like, say, like, a dev had, like, access to, like, PS5 architecture, this would be a much easier game to make, in general. Like, it would still be, like, pretty fucking hard, and it would still take, like, years upon years upon years, but you wouldn't also as much have to worry about, like, you know, optimization and such. Breath of the Wild and Elden Ring are gonna crop up as inspirations crazy hard the next time there's a big open world push in the industry. I think at the very least, we're kind of seeing an early, like, version of that, where Breath of the Wild has kind of inspired other series to go open world. And I mean, the big examples I could think of that right off the top of my head, I mean, Elden Ring is a good one in terms of, like, the Souls games. Sonic Frontiers is the first open world Sonic. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is the first open world Pokemon. I don't think every game can work in an open world formula, but I imagine for a lot of the series that they think they can get away with it, they might make an attempt at it, whether it's because Breath of the Wild and Elden Ring were such big successes. But again, it's one of those things where, like, I think games like, not just inspired to go open world, but, like, specifically, like, take, like, heavier inspiration from Breath of the Wild and such. It's probably gonna take a bit before we truly feel the effects of that. But I mean, yeah, Breath of the Wild is a once-in-a-generation game. And I know that's ironic considering they just did Breath of the Wild again, but you know what I mean, like, This is, like, a really, really good video game. I know that people have their problems with it, and granted, I do too. Like, and that's mostly just me being not the most suited for an open world formula. I think that the game was, like, a little slow for me, even, like, doing it on stream. Like, if I didn't have a chat, like, to constantly talk to, I probably would have, like, had to take more breaks. I probably would have gotten a little bored doing, like, all the stuff. But it's, like, easier to do when I have, like, people to talk back and forth to. But for me, like, traversal isn't necessarily the most exciting. I think that's already something that Tears of the Kingdom is doing a little better, because you get to make fucked up contraptions to bring you places. And the process of building those, even if it's still a little slow, is fun. Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna be entirely laid out in individual corridor levels. God. It still fucks me up that Todd Howard said that they weren't actually working on Elder Scrolls 6. Fooled you. We've actually only been working on Starfield, which I'm not convinced is a real video game because they've been talking about it for like 5 years and it's still not out. Like, when the fuck did they announce Starfield? That shit comes out in September? They absolutely announced that to specifically lessen the blow of Fallout 76. I don't even think that's like a conspiracy theory. I just think that's right. Because literally, why would they announce a video game so far in advance that like 4 or 5 years after they announce it, they say like, yeah, we were never actually working on it, but it's in the cards. Like, nobody does that unless they're trying to cover up some shit. We did it. We saved the day. The King's Leg, that son of a bitch, he did it. He rushed into the castle and didn't die somehow. I love it. All these characters that we did not see on stream. I won! Didn't even go to Kakariko, like his dying wish. He just looked at Link and he was like, damn. He didn't listen to me at all, but he won the day. I'm very conflicted about this. I don't know if I should be calling him a piece of shit or our greatest warrior. But yeah, Breath of the Wild is really good. Really good video game. I liked it. And I am currently liking Tears of the Kingdom. But yeah. That was Breath of the Wild. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you kind of enjoyed. This is like a different kind of segment, doing like post-commentary. But I hope it was cool. Hope it was cool. We will be moving on now to the next part of the Variety Hour.